What's up?
That's up, Frank.
All right, so let's get started. This is Frank Sepe for Mr. Olympia. I am here with 2020 Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy and Dennis James. Ramy, thank you for taking the time to, talk with us today. We're really excited about you being on stage again this year. So, can you talk a little bit about your prep and how it's going?
Uh, Nice to meet you, Frank, and it's my pleasure to be with you today. Um, yeah, we have a plan from last year. Me and Dennis and Chad were prep for 20, 2021.
Hmm.
Like we never had Mr. Olympia before. We need to make a big change for the weak point if we have that, and we need to change everything. And I think we're working for that, and we are ready for the 2021.
What weak points were you working on? Because you looked absolutely phenomenal at the show.
Yeah, we need to be better. That's the biggest thing. We need to be better because we need to give the fans something new.
Yeah, they're going to be excited. You just walking into the Olympia Expo, fans get excited. Obviously the biggest bodybuilder in the world, and now the best bodybuilder in the world. I always want to know, where do you find the motivation every day to train? When you started out, you wanted to be Mr. Olympia. Now you're Mr. Olympia, right? Now is the same motivation still there? Being that you want it, because to repeat is a lot of people have repeated, and a lot haven't. So where do you find the motivation?
Frank, I say that before. I said when I start bodybuilding, I love that story. I need to be a champ for myself. But now I have a lot of fans, and especially in Middle East, they push me every day. They need to see me in the top level in the bodybuilding, and that's make me, I have to working not only for me and not only for my passion, and it's also for my fans because they need to see Ramy all the time, the best one, and that's a big impression for me.
How have things have changed in your country since you won the Olympia? You're getting free
Man,
gymnasium.
you know,
What's going on
I say that many times. Uh, when I back to Egypt, it's every year because the time for the show is very early. It's a 5 a.m.
Oh, wow. Okay.
and whole the country he wake up, he not sleeping this day, and when I come to here, he make me like a king, like I'm a president of the country. And not only in Egypt, it's everywhere in Middle East, because it's a dream, not only for me. It's a dream for Egypt for a long, long time. The bodybuilding in Egypt is huge,
Yeah.
and they need that, and they deserve. And yeah, I'm really happy to make them happy this year. Yeah.
So what's the goal? Is the goal 9 Olympias? Now you got this feeling of, you are, like you said, you're the king. So now, like, to
Yeah,
lose
I
that feeling, now
know
you have to.
every single day I working hard to make them happy. It's my passion right now, and we're working for 2021, yeah, step by step. But we're working for this year,
Mhm.
and we need to make him that happy like last year, inshallah.
Dennis, are you calling Ramy every day, kind of like, keep him on track? How do you guys stay connected?
No, no, no. We don't talk every day because Ramy is not only he knows bodybuilding, but now he knows what it's like to be a champion.
Yeah.
So let him enjoy his time in Egypt, and he's doing his homework, which is the only important thing. And I want him to get as much out of his family as possible, because when he comes back here, it's game time again. It's going to
Yeah,
be everything. It's going to be torture. It's going to be dark places. It's going to be a total different game. So now give him his peace. And when he gets back to the U.S. to train for the Olympia, it's game time. So yeah, we'll talk every now and then, but I try not to bother him too much right now.
I remember when Dorian Yates was Mr. Olympia, and he would come 3 weeks before the Olympia to train over at Bet Francis gym to get ready, get used to the time, and
Mhm.
America, and this way you didn't have to travel all the way from the UK
Yeah.
over here. So how many weeks before do you come here?
Okay. Last year it was 3 weeks,
Hmm.
which was okay because he was in already good enough shape.
Yeah.
And this year we'll make it 2 months, so
Yeah.
that way we have time to focus on things that we want to make sure that stand out at the Olympia this year. Because of course, everybody, you know how it is when you win the Olympia, and everybody's trying to look for something that's not good. So they try to criticize you somewhere, which is basically normal. Everybody has to go through this.
Any
Phil Heath
sport.
won 7 Olympias, and he had to listen to it every year. So we just want to make sure that the points that the judges mentioned that they're going to look for, we want to make sure they can see that he was doing his homework and that he's making improvements in certain areas. Because think about it. I mean, he won last year by a perfect score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
You know what I'm saying? So imagine he's coming in better.
It's like LeBron James, 30 points a year, this and that. He doesn't win MVP every year. It's like, oh well,
We've been saying this for so many years. I've been saying this since 2013. I said this guy is going to win the Mr. Olympia. That I put it in stone in 2013 before the New York Pro, his first pro show.
I was there.
And when they saw Ramy those years, 2013, 14, and 15, and since then, everybody's been saying the same thing. If he ever comes in shape, it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed it last year. I mean, it took 7 years, but if you think about it, he's been working out with weights. He's been training as a bodybuilder since 2010.
Wow.
So in 10 years, in only 10 years of lifting weights, he not only is Mr. Olympia, he did 7 Olympias.
Crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, that's born and crazy. So basically, after 3 years of working out, he was a pro and he was on the Olympic stage. So show me one person that achieved that in such a short amount of time.
I don't think no one ever will.
Yeah, and that's why people wondering, oh, he's not in shape, his quality this, quality that. Yeah, of course, it's all new. He started in 2010. In 2013, he won the New York Pro. Of course, the muscle was there, but the quality wasn't. So it took a couple of years. Now he's at his peak. The next 4 or 5 years, he's in his peak, in his prime. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous.
He has the formula for success now too. It's finding that formula that works over that course of time. Now that he has it,
I think the formula was always there somewhat. Mm-hmm. He learned to understand. Last year was very hard for him. I think last year there was a phase of maybe 6 weeks before the Olympia, which was probably the hardest he's ever done. Okay, he was at a breaking point, which is normal, and he understood. And I remember every time we posed, in the morning, I make him pose, and I know he don't feel like posing because he's weak and he's drained. He just did an hour of cardio, and I make him pose anyways because I said, listen, we need to pose because you need to be able to show what you got. Because if you can't display the shape and the condition that you have because you are tired, then you're going to get beat by people that shouldn't beat you. And I remember there was a few times where he, when I said, come on, let's do one more round. And he's like, ah. And I remember exactly telling him when he said to me, oh, I'm tired. I said, are you going to tell Steve when he asked you for a call out, I'm tired, Steve? And when you look at him on stage at the Olympia last year, how he stood there. And I remember Steve doing an interview after the Olympia saying, what won the Olympia for Ramy? And he said, first of all, he was in shape. Mm-hmm. And he was the first one in the pose and the last one out.
I was standing next to you at the pre-judging, and I remember talking to you, and I was like, I can't believe how well he's posing. He was like, even in the later rounds, he was like fresh. He was popping, posing, everything else. And
because you know why? You know why? Because he was 100% prepared.
Yeah.
They could have made the pre-judging another 30 minutes. No problem.
Yeah,
Ramy,
yeah.
what song are you gonna pick out? What song are you
Yeah.
gonna pick out for the Olympia this year?
Hey, let me tell you before he says it. If I tell you he didn't know this song before,
Yeah.
I said, just use this song. He never heard of this song before.
Yeah.
Do you give him the song? Do you give him the song like 4 months before to kind of
No, that was like
just
a
the
week
day
before.
of?
A week before, I said, listen. Because you know why? Because I see Ramy all these years. He's trying to pose. He's trying to do classic stuff in between. I said, listen, let's go raw. Let's go raw, sheer size and condition. And this song, I said, everybody's going to clap to this song because Frank, this song is the fucking earworm for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's nothing to me. There's nothing worse than watching the biggest bodybuilder in the world doing a classic kind of, to the Titanic or whatever it may be.
You remember what Lee Haney said when they asked him why you're not doing any poses on the floor? He said, because that's for little men.
Oh well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Lee Haney used to be like Flea Labrada. He goes, I don't pose like Flea Labrada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what song, Ramy? What song are you planning on this year? What do you want?
I think I will bring some music, Arabic music from here.
Oh. Please,
no techno, some Egyptian techno,
huh?
Yeah. Frank, please tell him, don't use I Can Be Your Hero from Iglesia.
Listen, no Titanic, Batman, please no AC/DC either anymore.
And don't ever give him a microphone, please. Never.
Is he gonna sing?
He will jealous. He's just jealous because I have a good talent. I can sing very well.
He will empty the room in 2 minutes if he starts singing.
Yeah, but no one's gonna tell him he's a bad singer. No one will tell, except for you and I, but no one else will tell.
They're gonna walk out the door. Trust me. I had to listen to this from wherever from his house all the way to Cairo City. I had to listen to him singing "I Can Be Your Hero."
Going back to last year's Olympia, it was really, they had to put everything together quickly for COVID. That stage, was amazing, and I know that a lot of the fans were talking about, kudos to Dan Solomon, Jake Wood,
yeah.
Tamer,
Tamer, yes.
Everybody. Yeah, Tamer did a phenomenal job of pulling everything together. And this year we have even more time to pick, so we all can't wait to see. And let everybody know, October 7th to 10th, Olympia weekend in Orlando, Florida. Tickets are now on sale at www.mrolympia.com. And you can you'll see Big Ramy on there getting ready. You're right. You're going to be. Are you? One of the questions I had for that Olympia, going into Orlando, was it hard switching from Vegas to Orlando? Did you? Because some of the competitors were complaining, some weren't. Like, did it have anything?
If you ask me, for me, it's everything in point, like what Americans said. It's everything in point there in Florida. Everything is easier. Everything is for me is close to me, and the best thing, I went there. That I have a good memory there. Yeah. And but stage is incredible. The everything in point. Like it's a big place. It's a nice place. It's easy how to go and back. It's no traffic. For me, it's a very nice place.
The Olympia since the 90s, and I was blown away by the stage. The Olympia stage up there. So fitting that, for your first Olympia, I think it was the best stage ever for the Mr. Olympia.
And it's short time they did that. It's a big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also the good thing about the venue is this year. Last year they were only allowed to sell 3,000 tickets.
Yeah.
So this year they already, when they signed the deal, they already confirmed 6,000, and who knows, maybe even more at this point. I'm not sure, but it's going to be at least 6,000 this year.
And there's a press release just went out for free tickets for the military. You can get information on that at Mr.Olympia.com too. So, everywhere I go, when I go to the gym and stuff like that, people tell me, like, how is Mr. Olympia? Is he a nice guy? And we've known each other for a while. We did some photo shoots at Bev's, Bev Francis Gym back in back a couple of years ago, and I was lucky enough to do the interview with you after the show. How do you stay humble? Because a lot of people take shots at you. I wonder, like, when you're at the top of your game, people love to knock you down. How do you deal with all of the Instagram people and everything else? How do you stay level? How do you stay, how do you stay humble?
Okay, I love to be like that because I need to be myself.
Yeah.
I love, yeah, because if you go to live other life for other one, you have to be like a fake, and I don't like to be like faking or make acting it for for another guy.
Yeah.
I love to be like that. I love to be. I'm really happy when I see someone. It's really happy to make him like he feel like close to me. No, it's make me so happy to be like that. Yeah, everyone he need to be a nice, but I think it's a good way to be like him. It's nothing. It don't feel you are a different. It's a big, yeah. It's make him, yeah. You feel like you are close to him.
I think also too, like Dennis said, for 7 years you've been competing, and you know how hard it is to become Mr. Olympia. It's not like you just came out of the box and you won the show. So, you know the hard work involved and everything else. And I think that also keeps somebody level. When it's not given to you, you have to earn it. I think that's also good for, that's one of the traits that keeps you
Yeah.
level.
Can I chime in? Can I chime?
Also,
You have to ask.
go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No. Let Ramy finish first.
And I have one thing in my head. I never forget. Everyone he going to the top, and he be back to be normal one.
Yeah.
If you go and you change yourself, and when you're the top, one day you will be a normal one, and you also one thing you keep it in the heart of people. He remember you when you are in the top,
Yep.
and
Sure.
I need to be people remember me for something good.
So now I'll give you my opinion on how he conducts himself and why he is so humble and what keeps him grounded. I don't think he has to change anything. I don't think he has to think about, that's just his personality.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like that. He is just him. He's not trying to be nice. He's not trying to be someone he's not. That is his personality. From the minute you meet him until the minute he leaves you, you will understand who he really is. And it doesn't matter if he wins the Olympia 10 more times or if he doesn't win the Olympia, his personality will always be what it is right here. He's just sometimes maybe too nice, because I witnessed this also when I was in Egypt, and people don't understand how big of a star he is, not only in the world but especially in his country. And we went to a market. I swear, and I know the difference for me. I've been to places at expos where people want to take pictures with you, which is perfectly normal. But this is in your private life. Mm-hmm. You walk through a market, you want to get to some place.
Yeah.
And then there's people coming from everywhere. Ramy, because everybody knows him. He's on TV, and he stands there for hours and hours to take pictures with everyone, and he would never change his smile. And I'm watching him so many years now. We've been to Brazil, we've been to Australia on tours. You can tell when somebody's faking something.
Oh, absolutely.
He is just, that's just who he is. We would be at the gas station pumping gas. We both in the car. The guy from the gas station is pumping gas. Somebody recognizes him and asks him for pictures. He wouldn't just stick his head out the window. Mm-hmm. He would open the door, get out the car, and take a picture. Of course, somebody else sees it, they will run over, and then there goes another 15, 20 minutes of taking pictures. But that's just who he is. That's just who he is. Well, that's why he's always late. That's why he's always late.
When we were doing a photo shoot at Bev's, I think it was around the time that you had surgery. And I mean, he was coming back from surgery, and he was gassed after a couple of curls, and he was leaning over the bench, and a fan came over and said, "Can I take a picture?" And that's the last thing you want to do at the moment. And he got up
Yeah,
and and he took
yeah,
a picture. And I was like,
yeah.
I was impressed because, nine times out of 10, you're training somebody or shooting somebody. They didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. And he
But
was
that's
just
the
like,
reason, but Frank, that's the reason why his fan base
mm,
is so huge, because they all understand and see who he really is. And that's what people want. They want
yeah,
someone that is humble. Even though that, a lot of us, we'd be at dinner somewhere and we eat and somebody walks up to the table, can I take a picture? We're like, hey, listen, can we eat?
yeah.
Not this guy.
What do you do
He's
for
different.
chest? What kind of
He's
what
different.
kind of exercise do you do for chest?
What you know what I you know what I call this when I see this? He said he remembers where he came from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know how a
yeah,
lot of people, when they have success, they forget where they really came from?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And that's the difference with Ramy. He still remembers where he came from, and he loves the people from where he grew up. He doesn't feel like he's any better than these people. He thinks he's this on the same level, and he treats everybody the same. That's
And
why
this is the
he
truth.
is.
The truth. I'm from this place. Yeah, the truth.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the Olympia too, you had a lot of family members come with you, right? So you had a lot of support from your family. They came from Egypt because I know when we were doing the interview.
To say something for that, I have everyone in any sport is have a hard time, and it's not easy to be a champ.
Mhm.
But I have a people around me. I have always people around me support me. You know, when I have many times to go up and be back here, and to the experience for 2018, he make me lose a lot of things. Special the team I been with them for years, and thank you for them anyway. But but I have people around me, my friends, my family, Dennis, Mr. Chad. It's like a family. He supports me when I'm lose. I don't forget my friend Talal or Radwan or Dennis when I have a hard time. He pushed me like every day to you have to be number one, and that's me. I can't forget that, and I need to say thank you for all of them, for my friends, for Dennis, for Mr. Chad. Mr. Chad is calling me every day, Ramy. It's a new day. You have to give 100% every day like that. No, that thing he make me people going to be the best level. People around you must, yeah, yeah, and I said that many times. Don't keep any people. He give you a
That energy.
Yeah,
bad energy around you. Go for the people he pushing you and keep it in your life. If you don't have that, leave alone. It's better.
I think too. That when we're talking about your personality and how you are also helps, like your fan base, like Dennis was saying. A lot of people always say, well, bodybuilding is not as popular as it was. They're absolutely crazy and misinformed, because just our interview we did on your page got 4.5 million views. If you went back into the 90s or whatever, when the magazines were selling 300,000-400,000 copies, you put a picture of you eating an egg McMuffin on Instagram, it's probably get 10 million views. So,
Yeah,
and collectively, people sharing it. We share your posts on Mr. Olympia and everything else. So there's never been more eyes on this
yeah,
sport. The live stream, the athletes' social media. People don't understand that. So right now, you probably are the most, you know, I would say obviously the most popular bodybuilder in the world, but you probably have a bigger fan base than any Mr. Olympia ever, because, like I said, there's more eyes on it and they're more aware of what's going on. It has, back in the days, like, well, you had to be in a movie, but it's not like that anymore. It's a completely different, genre, it's a
yeah,
completely different thing. It's like, social media has taken over, and like I said, more people will probably see you on stage at the Mr. Olympia than who wins the hockey championship, the NHL
yeah,
hockey championship. It's just true. It's just good. It's just amazing. But going back to the prep for the Olympia, how often do you stay in touch with Chad? Does he give you a program you follow? Do you, sit with him, like, talk to him weekly? How does that work?
Yeah, Chad, from the day first when I worked with him,
Hmm.
he believed in me. He think he
Oh,
can go for best, and yeah, I need to say that Victor, when I'm in New York in 2019, December 2000, September, yeah, September 2019. And Victor, he said, yeah, Ramy, how is Tishad? I said, I never meet him. And he said, are you can working with him? Because he believe in you. And we talk about you. I said, okay, let me talk with him. And we went from the day first. He believed we can be Mr. Olympia. And he said, we will working for that. And you know, he's following me every day. He asking me how is your training, how's the food, how is he's like he caring like I'm a big baby for him. And yeah, and
Real big baby.
the best thing, because we're going to Arnold together, and Dennis, because Dennis is my close friend, and he's not only that, he's one from my family, really. And I send him a picture every day. Dennis, how is that? He said, you look great. You are in the best shape, and you will take the show. And after what happened in Arnold, I get the third place. I feel bad, but the chat is calling me after the show, maybe after 1 hour. And he said, Ramy, it's the last show you lose with me. You never lost one show after that. And he said, I guarantee in Olympia will take it. And yeah, that's me. I said, okay, you know what? We'll go for Olympia, and we're working very hard for that. And we went. It's 2009, 20. It's a hard year. It's have many things in the world,
yeah.
like a COVID everywhere. Yeah, but he's pushing me every day. And I said, maybe the show is not do it this year. He said, we're working hard, like we will do it in September. And when change the day, he said, we'll go for that. And you know what, that's what I said 5 minutes ago. The people around you make that. It's not only you win, because you need to train. It's not just train. People around you make that story. It's not all you. You can write your book, but if you have in your book all your story, only your story, nobody can sell it.
It's having the right people around you because,
Yeah,
I know we've all witnessed this. People have their little entourage with them, but when they, one of these people tell them that you don't look good, they're no longer in the entourage because they don't want to hear that. They want to hear how
yeah,
good they look. They're not willing to make that change or go through the process to, to get better because their egos are so big that they only want to hear yes, 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 yes. One of the good things about, Steve Weinberger back in the day was, how do I look? You look like garbage. Oh, okay. So what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get better? Those are the people that I'm sure you have Chad and Dennis and people who tell you like, how do I look? Well,
yeah,
not good. You need to do this to look good. And that
yeah,
is, and especially when you win a couple of shows, now, your ego can get high and this and that. And, now you're like, well, I know what to do. And you know as well as I do that the same formula always doesn't work. You have to tweak it as you go along. But that's what I'm saying. That's, good for you that you see that and you have the right team around you. And that
yeah.
is just,
Exactly,
that's more important than anything.
exactly.
And also too, I see both you guys are wearing the Enhanced Labs T-shirts there. So I
Yeah,
know, Ramy, you have the new pre-workout, right? Rage.
He's
yeah,
not only the Ramys Rage, he's also got this new enhanced. This came out with the new weight isolate
yeah,
on Ramy's line, Ramy's signature line. The new isolate. It's an awesome product. Of course, you can if you're interested, you can get him on enhanced shop. And and we got, like I said, Ramy's Rage is right now is out, and Ramys Weight Isolate. And look out for brand new amino IV coming out in the next any day now, any day.
So is everybody in Egypt in the gym right now have rage? They have taking the rage.
You know what? Here's the thing, and you know how it is. It's not because of Ramys. The products are really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, and because they were known for great products before we signed with them. Okay, so it's not like the products all of a sudden got good. They were known for great products before. So right now it's just that they tweak certain products and they put Ramy's phase on it because we did have a little bit of input when it comes to flavor and stuff. Because I remember the amino acid that's going to come out. It's going to call DJ's OJ or similar to that. It's going to be an amino acid, and I was testing the samples this whole time and drinking it until I liked it. The flavor and stuff. So they're doing a good job. These guys are really serious, and I knew they were serious when I was talking to them the first time, and I'm glad that we all teamed up because it seemed to be doing very, very well.
Having input on the product too, is extremely important, I'm sure, because you're not going to want to rep a company that you don't believe in, and you want to obviously, use the product and
exactly.
You put your name on it too. You're not just going to put your name on anything. You want, especially, people want to see results from it too. So
exactly, and you don't want to do like some other guys that are representing one company and drinking other company's products.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It happens.
Happens every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does.
Since there were posing and stages. So going. I wanted to ask you again. So going back, Ramy, what is the end goal for you? I know you're taking it a year at a time, but can you see yourself as a 9-time Mr. Olympia?
No, I don't like to think like that. I need to be like every show, like I never be in this stage. I need to be working very hard. And the result, he will come to the people working very hard. And that's what I need to think. I don't like to look at the future. Nobody know. I need to working for what I have in my hand right now. And I need to give him 100% to deserve it. That's it.
Is there a bodybuilder that you looked up to as you were, coming up the ranks, or somebody you were like, wow, this is an incredible bodybuilder?
There is one.
Yeah. Who is it?
Ramy.
Ramy, who's the bodybuilder that you looked up to coming up, as you were competing and you were just blown away by him?
When you started. Who's the one you wanted to meet?
I say that many times. I love Victor Martins when I started. I love him structure, and when I start, I need to be. I see that because he's in my first gym. I working in them in the floor, and I said, this guy is incredible. And when I start, I need to meet him one day. When I go the first show in New York Pro, I play with. I know.
Yeah.
What's
Is that the one with Juan Morel and Victor? Is that the?
Victor's the one he looked up to, and he always admired Victor. Started training, and then at his first pro show, he competes against Victor and had to beat him.
Yeah. But you know what? I still in my eyes, Victor is one of the best bodybuilders ever.
Yeah, he's actually. I'm from New York, also. He's actually a nice guy, and I've seen him over the years come up. I was at that show as well with Victor.
He should have one Mr. Olympia Sandow in his house, 2007.
2007.
But
that's the way it goes.
Everyone know Victor. He have the best heart in this life. When I know him, he's not only a good bodybuilder, he's also a good man. He helping everyone. He's one of the best men. I meet him.
How did you find out about bodybuilding in Egypt? Like, did you go into a gym? Like, how did you start? I'm just curious how you started training. How did you
You
learn
know,
about?
I try to, you know, I like the game from when I'm little young, when I'm teenager like that, because my brother he's have a good body and they need to be like, and they working because we are working here in Egypt when we are so young. But I working in the gym and I working also fisherman. I working in the gym, I clean it and I do it, that stuff.
Hmm.
And I go working with my family with the fishing. And when I go to Egypt, I try to be in a lot of gym, but the yeah, like I start to be a bodybuilding in oxygen gym
Mhm.
uh, for them because they helping me a lot. I never forget that team. Is a good guys and they working also hard, and he make it a bodybuilding in Middle East so big,
Mm.
and they helping for that. And I that's my serious my serious start in oxygen gym.
Mhm. And like it's so funny. Like Dennis said, 7 years you've been training.
Yeah.
It's
10,
incredible.
10. Now
No,
it's
7 years
11.
of competing. I'm saying seven, right?
Yeah.
7 years competing, 10 years training.
No. 7 Olympias in the 10 years
Oh,
that
seven
he's been
Olympias.
training.
Oh, seven Olympias. Oh,
Yeah, he's been training now. Now it's 11 years that he's been working
Yeah,
out. And he already did 7 Olympias, won the Olympia, and he's going for the 8th Olympia in October. So
yeah,
he literally started training in 2010. He
right.
turned pro in 2012
yeah,
and won his first. Matter of fact, he won his first pro show. He won his first 2 New Year pros,
Yeah.
13
yeah,
and 14. You know, and placed. I think he placed at his first Olympia in 2013. I think if he placed eighth
yeah.
first year.
Eight. We
Eighth.
start from eight,
Yeah.
7, 5, 4, and 2, 6, and Mr. Olympia thing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When oh, we lost him.
I'm here.
Oh, when you're training, Ramy, do you like, I used to work for a company that Ronnie Coleman did in the past as well, and we traveled a lot, and I used to watch Ronnie Coleman train when we used to be at the gym out in California, and he would be doing 3 sets of squats, and I'd finish an entire chest workout and, and everything in the hour that Ronnie would like wrap his knees, and I mean, but used to push incredible amounts of weight. Like I've never seen a bodybuilder squat and lift as much as he did. Took a lot of time in between sets, and a lot of the bodybuilders were cutting down on their rest intervals and training, but down to the last couple of weeks this guy was like just pushing incredible weight, and then his body obviously gave out. Do you look at other people's training, and is that in your mind as well, that do you go like keep pushing yourself with the weight, or you are more in kind of the rep range of like 8 to 10? What's your formula?
I, I love like everyone. I love to have a challenge when I train to
Mhm.
push more weight or some
Yeah.
stuff like. But believe in me, when you train with Dennis, you don't think about the weight. We need to finish the training before we put the weight. Because it's the technique. It's a very important also. But when you train with yourself, because I most of the time I train with myself, I push the weight. I need to be like I'm going like a fight. But when you train with the coach, he need to train you like with the technique. And that it's not easy, and it's also very important.
Oh yeah,
I,
well,
I love I love the time when I train with Dennis because I feel like I'm Mansoor 1 week for the one session.
Dennis, what are you doing here?
No, you know what? I tell you the truth. When it comes to Ramy and a lot of other, he lifts. He's very very strong, so he can lift all the weight in the gym. And when he's by himself, let him do his thing. And when he comes here, I think we don't need to go for size anymore. Now it's important, train for quality, train for detail, just work, to mature the muscle as fast as possible because it's still only 11 years. Some of these guys have 5, 10 years on him when it comes to training time,
Mm.
which shows in the muscle maturity. That's why I'm telling myself, how scary is this? This guy is not even really, he's now coming into his prime. I mean, that's very scary. I mean, nobody saw Ronnie in 2098 coming. And next thing you know, 2 years later, everybody thought he's unbeatable. We'll just go there for second. Yeah. So there's a good possibility that this can happen with Ramy because he is now coming into his prime.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
And as long as he can stay healthy and as long as he can stay injury-free, that's very scary just to think about it.
I always find it funny, people, when I watch some of these shows and stuff on bodybuilders, are like, well, what do you bench? What do you bench? Does it matter if Ramy benches 500, 600? He looks the way he does. What do you weigh? 295. Well, I think he should have been about 292. You know what I mean? Like, these people are out of their minds. Like, the biggest.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh right now? Does it really matter? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use the mirror.
Yeah.
A lot of people do get caught up with that, in the gym, on the scale and everything else. And it takes.
But when I think when it comes to this year's Olympia, because last year, not one person had Ramy on the radar. Even after he got the special invites, no one was worried about Ramy because they said, yeah, Ramy is the biggest guy. He's going to play somewhere 5th, 6th, So now I think this year it's going to be a little different. I think everybody will be on their A game this year. Everybody will be training harder. Everybody is going to be more focused. And everybody is chasing a bigger guy. So, and I also believe that everybody's going to pay more attention to posing when it comes to the mandatory poses.
Yeah.
I think nobody wants to fade anymore. So this is going to be a year where I think everybody's going to be better than they were before.
But like you said, back when Ronnie competed, it didn't matter because whatever they did.
It didn't matter. Yes, it didn't matter. Exactly.
You can't play the size game with Ramy.
No.
You know what I mean? So
nobody.
And if you come in, shredded or whatever, and Ramy comes equal shred, it's over.
I believe that there's going to be a few guys that think they got to go for size now.
Yeah.
And they're going to sacrifice some condition for it. And I think that's going to hurt them in the long run. I think they're going to, some people, they're going to make that mistake like we did back in Ramy's days. I mean, I thought I had to get as big as possible so I could stand next to Ronnie. And that was a mistake. And there's going to be some guys making the same mistake. So I suggest everybody, listen, try not to compete with him in size because it's just not possible.
Yeah, we'll never, we can safely say we'll never see Ramy on the men's physique or classic
physique stage. Well,
why not? Why not?
Because you'd have to cut one of your legs off.
Both legs.
Both legs. I mean, look at the down in the middle square here. Look at the shirt. Look at him. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. I mean, he's big, even though his weight is down right now. I mean, he was up to 153 kilos.
Yeah.
You need to know that in pounds, right?
2.2.
Well, I'll tell you right now in pounds.
Like 240, 340, 44, something like that.
Wow.
1 second.
Over 300.
I got a calculator here. 157 times 2.2. Yeah, 345.4 pounds.
Yeah.
And now he's down to, and it sounds so crazy. Now he's down to 147, Ramy?
Wow.
Yeah.
Times 2.2. He's down to 223 right now. And the crazy part is, guys, when you hear 223, you think about a puffy, fat, big bodybuilder.
323, right?
323.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but when you hear that number, you think about a fat, bloated bodybuilder, right? So think about it. He's only 25 pounds away from contest weight right now. So if you think about it, you have to understand when we say 323, he's super lean. He's not fat at all. I mean,
you got 12 weeks, and even if you had to lose 2 pounds and you drop your water, I think you're right.
Yeah, I personally think, and of course Chet's got a plan for that. I mean, Chet, in my eyes, is when it comes to especially bigger guys, he has a formula and he's very good, very good in making adjustments. You know, he's going to take you somewhere, and then he's going to take you back. You know, and he's good with that. So I think that Ramy this year will be better conditioned than he was last year, because I think there's still room to get better, and I think he will be with improved body parts, and I think he will be maybe, my guess would be maybe 2 to 3 pounds heavier than last year.
Wow. Okay. So when you are at the Olympia, I know, obviously going through social media and such, I see you have some things going on with Enhanced Labs. Are you going to be at the booth? What are you going to be at the Olympia where fans can see you? And
yes, he won't be at the booth on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Because of prejudging, of course, you got to focus on this is the biggest show of the year. So he will not be at the booth on Friday, but he will be at the booth Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And we will make an announcement with a calendar or with a time where they know when Ramy's going to be there for an hour and a half or 2 hours. I will be at the booth twice a day. I mean, two times, both days, on Friday and Saturday. But they're having a nice booth, so we'll have also Enhanced right now. They offer you can win a trip to Las Vegas. I'm sorry. You can win a trip to Orlando for the Arnold. Everything's paid by Enhanced. So guys, check out Enhanced, check out their Instagram, and also check out the website and see how you can win your trip and tickets to the Olympia.
Ramy, I know you got to train today, right? You didn't train yet? You training?
I train morning. I have to train again.
You have to train again? Okay. So I don't want to keep you, any longer. I know you're getting ready for a show. Is there anything you want to say to the fans?
I need to say one thing. Thank you for all of them, because I have a message every day from everywhere in the world, and thank you for the support. And we're working very hard to make everyone happy from what we did, what we will do in Olympia, and also, I say that because I know Ramy. What he did in his life. It's not because he's working only hard, because you are supporting him all these years. And thank you for everyone. And we'll not promise. We're working very hard to make them happy.
I know everybody's going to be very excited to see you on stage again this year at the Olympia. The first time defending your title now, and I can't wait as a fan too of the sport to see you. And again, like Dennis said, there'll be announcements for Saturday where you're going to be, so other fans can see you at Enhanced Labs. And Dennis, thank you as always for helping put everything together. I know Ramy's very busy, and I know that you'll be in Arizona soon with Jake Wood, right? And the Wings of Strength and them. And we're all, like I said, we're all looking forward to seeing you. And thank you so much for taking the time today. And good luck with your second training session.
Thank you so much. And also nice to see you.
Frank, always good to see you. Of course, you've been in this industry for such a long time. People don't realize that, most of the people today, and even some older guys like myself, were looking at your magazines and your pictures in the magazines back in the days where you were one of the probably the most famous and most sought after fitness models, So thanks for still having you around, and thanks for you now being on the team at Wings of Strength and working for the Mr.Olympia. Was a good guy to have. So I'll be looking forward to doing many, many more interviews with you, brother.
So yeah. And all right, guys, have a great one, and thanks.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Take care, my man. Be safe.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.